Hi, hello, it's Jodie and welcome to another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different to my usual videos, but I really wanted to make this video, so here we are. So I have a couple of things I want to talk about, a very important announcement, and then I'm also going to be doing my Q&A. So a lot of you kindly sent me some questions on Instagram for this Q&A, and I also have some questions from my 10k Q&A which I never actually filmed, but I did keep all the questions, so I am going to be answering those today as well. So first things first, I just want to talk about something that some of you guys might have already seen because I did announce it across my social media and I did a little post on here, but if you didn't see it and you didn't know, I finally made the decision to launch a Patreon. Now this is something I definitely did not think I would be doing this year, and wasn't something I thought about a whole lot until lockdown, and I've been getting more into content creation recently, as you guys can tell by how much I've been uploading, and I've just really been enjoying it. And I'm someone who's always loved creating videos. When I was younger I was always making like music videos and like just random videos, and I enjoy editing, I enjoy filming, and I just love it. And there is a lot of things that I'd love to create that wouldn't necessarily fit the Booktube kind of a vibe obviously that my channel is. And I also know that a lot of people do come to my channel just to get book recommendations and purely for the bookish content. However, I really also like combining kind of like lifestyle stuff with my reading vlogs, as you guys will have seen, and I do know that some of you guys do really like that kind of stuff. So I thought I would create this Patreon as a way of being able to kind of incorporate those things, being able to show more of my life and more personal stuff, and just generally create some other content. I have launched my Patreon and it's going to be a nice safe space. I'm so excited to get to know people more on there, and there's a lot of cool things that I am planning to do on there. So I do have 3 main tiers and then a 4th tier as well, so I will quickly just talk through them just so you guys have got all the information. But I will have my Patreon link down below if you do want to go and check it out. Feel free to completely ignore this. No one has to go and join the Patreon. It's not going to affect my content here on YouTube. I'm still going to be creating as normal and still going to be on here as usual. It's just additional content, so if you'd like to see extra videos from me and things like that, then you can join the Patreon. So the first tier is the New Moon tier, and this tier gives you access to the Patreon feed where I post like behind the scenes photos, live updates, that kind of stuff, and then it will also give you early access to at least 1 video a month. Then I also have my Full Moon tier. Now this tier gives you all the same benefits as the New Moon tier, but with this tier you get access to a monthly buddy read. So each month I'll put a poll up with a selection of books, you guys will vote on it, and then we will read that book the following month, and I will also upload a dedicated reading vlog to that book. And this tier also includes a Patreon exclusive live stream every single month with like reading sprints and stuff, and just where we can like chat and things like that, and it'll just be really fun and really chill. So yeah, if you'd like to join in with like the buddy read, which I'm so excited about, like I love talking about books with people, it's going to be nice to have you guys to talk to about these books, and I'm just really excited. We have actually already picked the first Patreon buddy read book. We did the poll a couple of days ago on there and we have chosen The Ravens. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. And then we also have the Super Moon tier, so that includes all the benefits of the other 2 tiers, but with this tier you do get 1 extra video from me a month, which is obviously exclusive to that tier. I put a poll up every single month with a variety of different videos. You guys vote on it and then I create that video. So it could be like a journaling video, it can be a reading vlog, a day in the life vlog, going through an annotated book, a themed vlog. It could be a whole number of different things, and occasionally I will also just upload a exclusive, a random like video as well as like an extra thing. So for example, I have uploaded my first ever journaling video where I did a ACMAF spread, so things like that, and it's just fun. And of course you get like a little shout out on the end of all my videos on screen, and a letter from me when you join just to say a massive thank you. So yeah, those are the benefits of that tier. And then I do also have a 4th tier, but this is just a tier if you wanted to support me and my channel even more and improve my content and that kind of thing. But yes, that is the general gist of my Patreon. It's basically just a safe space where a lot of us can come together in like a little community and chat, and I will just upload extra videos, more personal stuff, life updates, pictures, all different kinds of stuff, and I'm just so excited, and I'm excited to have this space to do that. And I'm very grateful to all of the amazing patrons who have joined so far. I love you all, and I love you all on YouTube as well. Like I said, you do not have to join the Patreon. It does not affect content here on YouTube. It is just extras if you'd like to, but I understand that some people won't want to, and that's fine. But yes, that is like my announcement, and I am still very, very like nervous, but also very, very excited, and I'm just very, very grateful for my YouTube channel because it really has got me through the last few months, and I just love having this creative outlet and just all of you guys to chat to. Like, it really does mean the absolute world to me, and I cannot thank you enough for all of your support on YouTube, and I'm just very, 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 very grateful. But now that the announcement is over, I do also just want to quickly say I usually do my live shows every single Saturday, and that will be changing. I love doing them on a Saturday, but the time and it being on a weekend was just getting a little bit much to kind of keep up with. Yeah, I just don't feel like Saturdays are working too well for me, and I know a lot of other people as well also can't join on a Saturday. So I did actually do a Tuesday live show not long ago, and I actually really enjoyed doing it on the Tuesday. I just think a weeknight is a really good time to do it. It's a nice break from like work life in the day or whatever you've been doing, and I just really enjoyed that as well. So I am actually at the moment thinking I'm gonna switch my live shows to a weekday evening, so probably Tuesday evenings, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But just let me know in the comments if you guys would be okay with that. But I am thinking a weekday evening is going to be a lot better for me, and hopefully for some of you guys, and just a nice way to unwind. So yeah, that is another thing I'm planning on doing. I do apologise to those who like them on Saturdays. Just at the moment, and when I go back to work, I just don't really think it's going to work very well. So yeah, I hope you guys don't mind that, but do let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. My phone's going off, let me just put it on silent. So now that I've talked about all those things, I am going to get to the Q&A. I just want to say a massive thank you for 13,000 subscribers. It's insane to me. I didn't even expect to get anywhere near 10k this year, so to hit 13k is just incredible. My goal for this year was to hopefully get to 15k, and the fact that I'm like halfway to that goal is just insane. And I'm just really grateful for you all, and I love this platform and creating content for you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you. But we are going to get into the Q&A. Okay, so I have all the 10k questions here, so we're going to start with those first. So that girl called Jessica asked me, if you could learn a foreign language, which would you learn? Now, a language that I've always wanted to learn is Mandarin. I really want to learn this language the most, and I do plan to at some point when I feel like I have the ability to concentrate and properly give it a lot of time and like energy. So Mandarin is definitely like the top. Like, I really want to learn Mandarin, but I also really want to learn Spanish. I did learn Spanish when I was in school, so I know the odd word, so I feel like I could probably learn that a little bit easier. And my family also has a place in Spain that we go to quite often, so it will be very useful obviously to know Spanish. So I definitely want to learn Spanish, but there are so many languages I'd love to learn. Then Coffee, Books and Blankets asked me, which fictional character would you like to marry? A lot of you guys will probably already know what my answer is going to be for this one. Of course it is Rhysand from the Akatar series by Sarah J Maas. Rhysand is my book husband, and I love him with my whole being, and yeah, just Rhysand. It's an easy one. Rhysand, no one compares. Coffee, Books and Blankets also asked me, what's a fictional world you would like to live in? I would probably say Middle Earth, probably the Shire, because it's just so cute and cozy and wholesome and pretty, and I would just love to live there. I think it would be a very nice life, a very comforting life. So Magda's Book World asked, what's your biggest fear? I love your channel, thank you so much. And my biggest fear is zombies and spiders. I'm terrified of a zombie apocalypse because to me that seems like something that is kind of possible to happen, like some weird super virus or something, like making people want to eat each other. Like, yeah, zombies terrify me. Like, I love watching anything that is zombie themed, so like TV shows and movies. I love them and I'm obsessed with them, but the actual concept of a zombie apocalypse is absolutely terrifying to me. But real life fears are spiders. Doesn't matter how big, how small, and I have no idea why I'm so scared of them, and I just hate it. Like, I hate being scared of them, but I am absolutely terrified of them. Like, absolutely ridiculously terrified of spiders. So yeah, that's definitely my biggest fear. How long have you loved to read so much? As long as I can remember. I've been reading since I was super young. One of my highlights of my childhood was like going to the bookstore every single weekend with my grandparents, and I'd pick out a new book. I used to like stay up reading late with a torch or like a reading light under my quilts at night. Like, I've always loved reading. I kind of didn't read as much through some of my teen years, but then I got back into it again, and yeah, I've just loved books for as long as I can remember. I don't know how I would cope without books. Like, books quite literally are my life, because I read books in my spare time as like my hobby, and then I also sell books for a living, and obviously I do Booktube, so they literally are my life. Black Raven Reads asked, what is the thing that surprised you the most when you became a booktuber? I would probably say like how kind people are and how nice people are. Like, I get so many lovely comments and I speak to so many amazing people and have so many fun conversations on here. So I would definitely say it's people's like kindness and supportiveness is just the most surprising thing. Like, I obviously expected to get like comments of people being pleasant, but so many people are just like so unbelievably kind and nice, and I just absolutely adore that. And then another thing I would say that's slightly less like fun is probably the pressures of Booktube. Like, I never really realised like how pressuring it can be, and that is obviously like down to me. Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself to maybe read certain books and get certain content out, but it's not really something I expected to deal with a lot, and it is something unfortunately like I do put myself under. So I guess that's like the downside, but obviously it like doesn't compare to the good stuff. So Leanne asked me what is my favourite thing on book covers, and I don't really know like what attracts me to a specific book cover. I kind of like stuff with that has like maybe gold or silver on it and like is like a black kind of background. Honestly, I don't know, because all the covers that I love the most are also different. So honestly, I'm not particularly sure what I love the most. I'd just say anything that's quite bold and eye-catching. So Chloe McGee asked, which Sarah J Maas series would you recommend for a newbie to her books? It depends how old you are, for one, because even though ACOTAR is technically under YA, it is actually new adult, and I think the publisher and Sarah J Maas are obviously pushing for it to be new adult, especially with the release of the most recent book. So I feel like if you're older, then I would definitely say the ACOTAR series. It's my personal favourite, and if you like fantasy and romance and you like romance to also be a big part of the plot, then I would definitely recommend the ACOTAR series. If you're an adult and you want something that does have that urban fantasy vibe and is a little bit more complex, then I would recommend Crescent City. But if you're someone who's on the younger side or just wants a like badass protagonist, a lot of fun, a little bit of romance thrown in, but like quite a long book series to get stuck into, then obviously there is the Throne of Glass series. So it really does depend exactly like, you know, what age you are, what you're comfortable reading, what kind of stuff you like what tropes. Like, there's different recommendations for different people, but my all-time favorite is the ACOTAR series, so I would obviously recommend that series just because I love it so much. But yeah, I hope that kind of answers. If you could read one book every day, what would it be? Akamath, my all-time favorite book. I never get tired of rereading it. I absolutely adore it, and I would happily read it every single day for the rest of my life. Then Shenanigans with Jess asked, do you go to university, and if so, what did you study? Well done on reaching 10k, thank you very much. So I don't go to university now. I did enroll in university a couple of years ago, and I started a degree in zoology, and then I quickly realised that it just was not for me. It was not something I was passionate about, and it just wasn't something I wanted to study, and I quit, and it was the best thing I ever did. I would love to study again maybe one day in the future, but I'm very indecisive, and I go through phases of really loving a specific thing, and I just feel like I change too much as a person to stick to one kind of university degree. The only degree I'd say I would probably go for that was obviously something that's always consistent would be literature, because obviously I do love books, but I don't think my personality is consistent enough to want to stick at it and like learn about certain things within literature. I don't know, so I don't know if I ever will go back to studying. But yes, I did go to university and I left. It just was not worth it for me, and yeah, I'm glad that I did. And then Jade Nuttall asked, what is the book series that got you into reading? I don't know what the book series was that got me into reading when I was younger. Like, I honestly can't remember. I know I loved the Linda Chapman Stardust series when I was younger. I would say the series that really sucked me back into reading when I was in my teens and I kind of drifted apart from reading probably was The Hunger Games. Like, it really did get me back into the world of like YA, dystopian and fantasy and all that. So I would probably say The Hunger Games, but honestly I'm not entirely sure. Then Leia from Lover of Pages asked favourite YouTubers outside of Booktube. I probably would say Ruby Granger. I tend to watch her videos when I want to feel like a bit productive or inspired. I don't really watch anyone else, to be honest, which is probably a bit weird, but I just don't. Leia also asked if you could do any other job other than book selling, what would you do? Probably content creation full-time, but I don't know. I mean, just because I do love editing, I love the process of it, so maybe I would edit videos for other people, like wedding videos or something, or like photography. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't really have a specific career in mind that I want to do. I'm very happy book selling and I love it. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I absolutely love my job and I feel like I'm very lucky to be able to say that I love going to work. So I mean, besides that, I would probably just say content creation in some form, just because it's my other passion, but honestly I don't really know. Then Paola94 asked your favourite Shadowhunters characters. I haven't read enough of these books to say. I would probably say Magnus is the most interesting. I've only read the first 3 books in the Mortal Instruments series, but I do plan to read the whole series at some point. I just hate Clary and Jace, so I have really struggled to get through that series, but I will one day, and I'm sure I'll have favourite characters from the other books, but I would probably say Magnus from what I have read so far, just because he's quite fun and interesting. And Leia also asked your favourite part about Booktube. Talking to people in the comments and the friendships I have made through Booktube. I've definitely met some of my best friends now through Booktube, which I'm very grateful for. And I also just love talking to people about books and speaking to people about books, so I would say definitely talking to people in the comments is my favourite thing. So I just put my light on because I noticed how dark it was in here. I don't know why the lighting is so off today, so I do apologise. Lady and the Latte asked me what other things do you like to do besides reading. So I would say like photography and like videography are like some things I really enjoy, but that kind of plays into like Booktube. So I would say like journaling is like a kind of recent hobby I've gotten into, but I definitely like don't stick to it. I just do it like once or twice a month. Eating food, does that count? I love eating, absolutely love eating. I don't know, I don't really have any other hobbies. I just have things I like to do sometimes. Maybe I should get some more hobbies, but yeah, I don't really know. And they also asked what's my all-time favourite author. Sarah J Maas. I have never found another author whose books I've loved every single one of. Like, I love every single one of Sarah J Maas's books that she has written so far, so yeah, Sarah J Maas is definitely my favourite. Bookish Lifeline asked when did you start working at Waterstones and was it always your goal to work there? So I've worked at Waterstones now for EVMM09 asked, totally not book related, but how do you keep your hair so shiny? I wouldn't really say personally my hair is shiny, but thank you. I don't really do anything to it. I use the cheapest shampoo, so whatever's 99p in the supermarket, because I used to spend money buying these like expensive brands and never noticed a difference. So I know it's probably not good for my hair, but at the moment I just use whatever's cheapest, and yeah, I don't do anything else to it, so I really don't know. Book Aims asks, what do your colours mean when you annotate your books? So I will be doing a video on how I annotate very soon, and I do know that a lot of you guys keep asking me for that. It is coming soon. I don't particularly have a colour code system set up, so it's kind of hard to explain. So I change how I annotate depending on the book. So certain books I might include a certain tab, whereas others I wouldn't bother. So I will sometimes have a tab where that colour represents quotes that I really like, another tab might represent world building, another tab might represent really important things that are happening or bits of information, another tab might be like funny humorous moments, another tab might be for specific lines that I really like the writing style of, things like that. So I just have different things. It really does depend on the book, but like I said, I'll definitely be doing an annotation video very soon. As Bookish Adventures asked, is there a bookshop or library you most want to visit in the world? Love you and your videos. Thank you so much. And honestly, I don't know, there are so many amazing libraries that I'd love to go to, so I would say I would love to visit the most popular library or bookstore in every single country if I ever could, but honestly there isn't one that kind of jumps out The only thing I can think of is that I would love to visit the Strand again in New York City and just relive that experience all over again. I also asked, how did you become a senior bookseller? Without going into what you have to do to become a senior bookseller, I guess I was kind of always going above and beyond. Like, I really put a lot of like work, obviously like a lot of work into my job anyway, but I really do, like, I'm very, very passionate about my job. So to become a senior, you have to take on extra responsibilities. Obviously was working at the right level to become a senior, so yeah, I'm very, very happy to be a senior bookseller, and hopefully now I can work towards becoming a lead bookseller. So yeah, I don't really know how to explain it without going into the specifics of becoming a senior, but I guess I just carried on working really hard and learned a lot of new things, and I got there. They also asked, I love all your cool sweaters and t-shirts, Nightmare and Alice, and wondered where you get them. So I get a lot of them from H&M, Pull and Bear, eBay, EMP, the Disney store, places like that really. It just kind of depends. Emily Jane Whittle asked, what motivates you to read when you're in a reading slump? Honestly, nothing. If I'm in a serious slump, nothing's going to motivate me really. Sometimes I will watch other people's vlogs, or I'll even rewatch my own vlogs where I read a lot to try and motivate myself or get myself in the mood. I'll sometimes like go on a live show or do a buddy read with friends or reread an old favourite. Or maybe I will start with like a graphic novel or a manga to try and get me back in the mood. If I'm in a serious slump, I just have to kind of force myself to read to get out of it, so yeah. Olivia asked, which book do you wish you could read again for the first time? Akamath. My answers for most of these questions are just Akamath, but I would give anything to experience that again. Like, if you have not read that book yet, I am envious of you. Like, I would just love to relive that experience. Best fantasy standalones, honestly I'm not sure, because pretty much all the fantasy I read are usually part of a series. Probably Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw. It is a standalone, it's pretty much fantasy. I just love that book and I love her writing, so I would probably say that book. And then Cherry W asked, favourite makeup products and shades. I only have one consistent lipstick that I use, and I only ever wear one shade of lipstick. It's very rare that I change my lipstick, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I change my foundation all the time. I use a lot of like hand-me-downs from my sister, makeup that she just doesn't want, like a lot. So at the moment I've been using the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation in the shade 100 Ivory, and then I've been using the Revolution concealer C3 apparently, and then I always use the Rimmel London Stay Matte powder. That's pretty much what I'm using at the moment, and then I switch between the Kat Von D tattoo liner and a Rimmel one as well. And where are you from in England? I'm from the north of England. Some of these questions I've kind of already answered before. T-Books and Tasman asked, what's your fave makeup brand? Don't have one. I just use whatever, like, yeah, I don't really have a favourite one. I don't have a brand where I've used enough of their makeup to call them a favourite, so I don't have one. Reads asked, have you ever read Stephen King? If not, would you? Yes, I have read The Gunslinger, and I've also read Carrie. The Gunslinger at the time I really loved, but going back I would probably rate a lot lower. It was very boring. Carrie I loved, and I think is a great like horror novel, and I would like to read some more Stephen King, but I feel like I would probably struggle to read a lot of his books, so I don't know if I ever actually will. And then someone asked, if you were to spend quarantine with 3 characters, which characters would it be? Probably Cassian, Asriel and Rhysand, because one, Rhysand for obvious reasons, and Cassian and Asriel I just think would be really, really funny, so I would say those characters. They also asked, what's your favourite book of all time? Akamath, easy. Always gonna be my fave. Someone asked, have you ever had people in real life not understand your book obsession, book content? I don't really share my content with anyone in real life. Some of my family members and a couple of friends are aware of it, but I don't share it on any of my personal like social medias or anything like that. And like some work colleagues know about it, but obviously because they work with books they get it. I guess they do understand that book obsession. I don't know. I've never asked anyone. I mean, I don't really know what other people think of my book obsession, and as awful as it's gonna sound, I don't particularly care. I don't know. Jenny asked me, would you like to write a book someday? It is something I'd obviously love to do, I just don't plan to pursue to do, and I don't think I would be capable of doing. Someone asked, do you like Star Wars? I used to really like Star Wars before the new movies came out, but I haven't watched it for a long time, and I still haven't watched, I think, the last movie. So I like it, but like not tons, because I just don't really like I don't read any Star Wars comics that often. I don't watch any of the movies that often. Like, it's probably been 2 years since I last watched a Star Wars movie. So I used to like it a lot, but not so much anymore. I didn't realise how many like questions I had, so I'm sorry if this video is really long. Miranda's Library asked, what inspired you to create a booktube? I had this channel already a few years ago, and I used to make what was called document your life videos, where I just do like a montage of life every single month, and then I would upload like some Comic Con videos, and I kind of, I think, stumbled across Booktube via Comic Con things. Like, I would watch Comic Con hauls and comic book videos, and then naturally that kind of branched out to Booktube. I honestly don't remember who the first Booktuber was that I ever stumbled across. I really can't remember, and I think when I started making Booktube videos, I didn't really watch a lot of Booktube. I just started making them. It wasn't really until I'd say probably 2019, towards the end of it, that I really did discover the book community, and I'd say 2020 was when I became like an active like member of the book community. So I don't really know, but I just always like making videos anyways. Like I said earlier, I've always enjoyed making videos since I was younger, so I don't know, because I love books so much, it kind of just happened. And yeah, I don't know how, but it did. Someone asked, are you ever going to do an everyday makeup tutorial? Love your makeup. Thank you so much. Honestly, I don't know, maybe one day, but I'm not very good at makeup, so I don't know if I'll ever do that. I do plan to maybe do the books and makeup tag, or like maybe a chatty what I read recently get ready with me video, but I don't have any plans to do that like very soon, but sometime in the future I might do. What is your day like as a bookseller? So obviously I sell books, and a lot of the time I have to recommend books. That's obviously a massive part. Someone might come in looking for a recommendation for themselves or for a relative or a friend, so I will always try to be able to give like recommendations to any type of reader. So a big part of book selling is recommendations, finding books for people where they can't remember the author or the title, doing kind of like some research, obviously like marketing, so like making sure displays are done. I create a lot of displays, which is really fun, and like the windows and stuff. I also run the social media accounts for my store, so I also will take photos to post of like recent books. We write little mini review cards of books we've read to go up on the shelves as well. So I would say a lot of it is just customer service, having conversation with people, recommending books, talking to people about books, and obviously like, you know, putting new books out, reorganizing the shelves, tidying, that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of different things that we do. Wow, those are all the 10k questions answered. Oh no, I didn't realise there was this many. Okay, so now we're on to the questions that I recently got, so I am so sorry if this video is quite long. Someone asked, what equipment do you use for filming? So I do have a DSLR, but I never use it. I just can never get it how I want. I'm not someone who is very tech savvy. As much as I love photography and videography, I'm not very tech savvy. So the camera that I use for everything, vlogging and filming, is my Canon G7X Mark II. I love it. It shoots really good quality, just as good as a DSLR, and it's really good for vlogging, and it has really cool settings on it. The only thing I don't think is that great on it is the focus. I feel like the focus could be much better, but I'm happy with it. It does the job. And then I just used a Velbon tripod. I don't know what that brand is. It's just the cheapest one. That was from Argos. And then I just use a like ring light as well. But I would love, when I have more space, to get those softbox lights, but for now that's what I use. What's your absolute dream job? I don't really have one. I always wanted to sell books, and I'm doing that now, so I'm very happy, and that is definitely a dream job for me. I think my dream job, as cringy and corny as this is going to sound, is to just have something that I'm very passionate about and absolutely love. So I think one day I would love to work for myself. I don't really have a dream job. I'm just very like content in my job, and like, yeah, at the moment I don't know, I don't have one. So Caitlin asked, fuck, marry, kill Reese, Castian and Az. You love me for this question. So oh no, I'd have to marry recent. Oh no, how can you ask me this question? Oh, I'm just gonna have to answer it quickly. Okay, I'd marry Reese, I would Azrael, and I would kill Castian. That was a traumatic experience. Yeah, right, I'm not going back on it. That's my answer, I can't change it. So someone asked, if you could bring back to life one character, which one would it be? Sam Cortland. If you know, you know. So yeah, I would bring him back to life. Favorite character of all time, probably Wonder Woman, I would say. I really just love the character of Wonder Woman. It's probably Wonder Woman, but I don't particularly have one. What is your favorite book cover? I don't have one. I have favorites, but there are a lot of them, but I wouldn't say I have one specific book cover that I love, so I don't really know how to answer that. I'm planning on doing a pretty book covers video soon, so I guess you will see some faves in there. What are your biggest goals for the year? I would like to progress towards becoming a lead bookseller. I would love to hit 15k on here. I really want to meet some of my friends from online. I definitely want to improve just like my overall like health and well-being and like mental health and stuff. That's definitely a goal, and hopefully get my own place, but again that is totally like circumstantial. Like it's going to depend on all of the COVID stuff and a lot of other factors, but it's definitely a goal for this year. Like I hope that I'm in my own place soon, but we shall see. So I guess that's a goal. And then someone asked, I'd love to hear any advice you have for newer or small booktubers. So my advice is just to go for it, get the content out there that you like to create. And also I definitely say interacting with other members of the book community is definitely a big part of it, and definitely one of the funnest parts. And I would just say just go for it. Just talk about books that you love and what you're passionate about. Someone asked, where do I buy my books? I buy most of my books from Waterstones. I also get books from Amazon, eBay, Depop and Book Depository and Wordery and Blackwell's. They're all the main places I get books, but mostly from Waterstones. Pat asked, you're stranded on an island. What are the 3 books from your collection you would take? A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin. Easy. I love that series so much, so those would be my 3. Someone asked me, what are your top favourite TV shows and movies? I have a lot of favourite movies, so that's going to be hard, but TV shows, probably Supernatural, Criminal Minds, Discovery of Witches. There are probably others that I'm missing, but those are the main ones. I also really love the Tokyo Ghoul anime. Favourite movies, there's so many, but I love The Martian, Interstellar, Jennifer's Body, Donnie Darko, Nightmare Before Christmas, some Studio Ghibli movies, Corpse Bride, The Mummy, From Hell. I like the Conjuring movies, Wonder Woman, Marvel movies, DC movies. I have a lot of favourite movies. There's some of the ones I can think. Oh, and Signs. I love Signs as well. Yeah, they're all the ones I can think of off the top of my head, but I have a lot of favourite movies. Kat also asked, do you have any future plans for more tattoos? I would like to get more tattoos. At the moment I have 6. So I would like to get 1 on my ribs. I plan to get a Crescent City quote on my ribs at some point. I want to get another little tattoo here to match like this side, and then I maybe want something like here, or maybe just something on this arm, and I wouldn't mind something maybe on the back of my ankle or something as well. But yeah, I'm not sure specifically what yet, but I definitely do plan to get some more at some point. Someone asked, where are you buying merch products from? Actor? Everything seems to be in the US. I do agree, most stuff seems to be in the US and it sucks. Definitely Depop, Etsy and eBay, I would say, like, because a lot of the times people will sell stuff that they bought from the US on Depop, so I get a lot of stuff from there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Favorite band and artist? My music tastes change a lot. I like a lot of different genres, but I would say my favorite band, I have a few. I would probably say Iron Maiden, Kings of Leon, 1975, Catfish and the Bottlemen. Favorite artists, I'm not really sure. It changes depending on what I want to listen to. I really like Hans Zimmer. And yeah, I don't know who else really. It changes a lot. If you could only have one hair colour for your entire life, what colour would it be? Probably just blonde, because I've always been a blonde, but then obviously if it's a colour, then pink. Someone asked, when do I plan to read A Court of Silver Flames? Very, very soon, hopefully sometime this month, but I just don't know. I have a lot of other books and proofs that I need to read before I can read that. It's quite a big book and I just don't feel emotionally ready for that book. Like, some of the stuff that is covered in there mental health wise, I just don't really feel like reading right now, but hopefully soon, and I will be vlogging it when I do. Someone asked what my favourite vampire book is, so I would say I read the last vampire series by Christopher Pike when I was younger, and I remember I absolutely loved it. Not read it for a long time, really need to reread it, but I remember it was very, very good. But I really love The Beautiful, which doesn't have like a vampire as the main character, but vampires exist in the book, and I just love that book. I think it's beautifully written and I just yeah, it's so good. So probably that one. She also asked, what colours would you like to colour your hair? Pink, which I have done, as you can see. I am debating bleaching my roots and going fully pink and maybe different shades of pink, but I'm not sure, but pink is the answer. And then Kay asked, what fancy world would you like to live in? I think I've already answered this, but the Shire. Place would you love to visit in the world? I would love to visit Miami for reasons that are obvious. If you had a familiar, what would it be? Well, I would say Toby, my pug, is my familiar, but if I was going to have one, it would either be a black wolf or a raven. What are your top 3 books of all time? Probably A Cormorant in Fury, Crescent City, maybe Stalking Jack the Ripper. Probably those, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Definitely Akamath, but not sure about the other 2. How did you start your Bookstagram and what has been the biggest challenge? Again, it was something I fell into. My Bookstagram wasn't always a Bookstagram. It started out as just like an account where I just dumped photos. I didn't have anyone new on it. I just uploaded whatever. If you scroll back to the bottom, you can see that. So my account started as that. It kind of merged into a Bookstagram, then merged back into a Life account, then Bookstagram, then Life and Books, and then a Bookstagram. And it's been a Bookstagram consistently now for well over a year, probably 2. I don't know how I fell into it, I just did. I wanted an account to post about books and I never really felt that comfortable enough to post a lot about books on my personal until I became a bookseller. So it was just purely a place to be able to post about books. So yeah, I just kind of started by merging life and book content together until it just became book content. Someone asked, how are you? I'm okay, thank you very much for asking. I hope you are as well. What's the most precious book you own? I would probably say one of these 2. So I have a Song of Achilles proof and a Crescent City proof. These are definitely my most prized books, but I also have an Alice in Wonderland and a Grimm's Fairy Tale book that are both over 100 years old. Very, very old and very, very beautiful, but I don't want to get them down from my shelf. So I would probably say they're the most precious books that I own. Someone said, do you prefer witches or vampires and your favourite book associated with them? I would say probably witches. I love anything to do with vampires, but if I actually was going to choose between which I'd rather be, I would say a witch, and I would say Discovery of Witches is my favourite book related to witches. Apart from Sarah J Maas, which are your other favourite authors? Probably Carrie Maniscalco. I really love her writing. Renee Ahdieh. I like Victoria Schwab's writing, although I've not read very much of her books yet. Polly Black. Yeah, there are some of my favourites. What's my favourite witchy book? Probably A Discovery of Witches. And how did your interest in witches spark? I've just always been interested in anything witchy since I was a kid. I don't know why or when it started, but I just kind of always have been. I think that is all the questions, so happy days. This video has been so long. I am so sorry that this video is going to be very long. I didn't expect to have that many questions to answer, but I hope I covered most of them because some of them were kind of similar. But again, thank you all so much for all of the love and support, both on YouTube and Patreon. So yeah, if you would like to join my Patreon just for extra content, for the monthly buddy read that we all do together, and just more personal stuff, then definitely check the link down below if you just want to have a little look at it. Like I said, I understand that not everyone will want to join it, and that's totally fine. It is totally just optional if you wanted to. But yeah, I am just so grateful, and I'm honestly just so happy to have all of you, and I love all of you so much. And yeah, I don't want to gush too much about everything, but I hope that this little like announcement Q&A video has been like useful to some people and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, please do leave me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments about the live shows being on a weekday evening. Let me know if you did join the Patreon, and if you have any other questions then feel free to ask me them in the comments as well. As always, I love chatting to you guys there. If you made it to the end of this video, please do leave a black heart emoji. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you're all safe and well and that you're reading lots of good books, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!